Hello, you've caught me trying to enjoy video games with someone who doesn't usually play them.
Why won't you just hit the stupid frog?
Because you've got to wait for his ATB gauge to fill up first. To be fair, giving someone who's never played a video game before a controller and Final Fantasy VII is probably like giving me a screwdriver, an oxygen tank repair manual, and then chucking me out the airlock of the International Space Station, you know. Sorry everyone on board, enjoy your last few minutes of breathing. But there are some games out there non-gamers can enjoy, even if they've never even laid eyes on a DualShock. How about we just play something we can both enjoy?
Well, good, because having to wait for Cloud to eat 80 beans before he can do anything is just stupid.
Number 1, Dreams. Dreams is amazing for non-gamers because it's not just one game, is it? It's potentially infinite games. Lots of them are spectacular and complex and mind-bogglingly clever, while others are incredibly simple and hilarious fun within seconds of you booting them up. You can spend hours casually dream surfing and never get bored. The amazing thing is you can then come back a day or two later and dream surf through a load of entirely new stuff. It's impossible not to be amazed by dreams. I mean, it sounds like cliched PR spiel, but the only limit is your imagination. It really is though. And while the limit of my imagination is making this cone run around the hub area to make my 4-year-old daughter laugh, there are other people making games that actually have talent and creativity. And you can just gorge on everything they make. It's amazing. Tell your non-gamer friends and family. Get them involved. Entry 2 is The Sims 4, a game series that's permeated so far into popular culture that pretty much everyone has either at one point played it or at least watched a family member playing it. Even my dog knows the joke about putting Sims in the swimming pool and then taking the ladder away. I mean, The Sims is just inherently hilarious, even on the rare occasion you do try and play it properly, as evidenced by our Sims 4 live stream a few weeks back. You know, we made a little access house, made beds for everyone, eventually. Everyone had jobs, and yet for some reason we all liked walking in on each other in the bathroom. Ha 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 ha.
Ha ha! Look at you coming into the bathroom while I'm sitting on the toilet.
Good, clean family fun. Seriously though, if you want something everyone can enjoy if you ever find yourself all stuck in the house together, you could do a lot worse than The Sims 4. And only one of you has to do the actual playing. Everyone else can just stand and watch and laugh and make suggestions. You know, like make Rob a separate house so he never has to mix with everyone else. Our third entry is Until Dawn. Now, you can substitute this for any choice-driven narrative game really, like Heavy Rain or Detroit Become Human or any of the Telltale games. I've picked Until Dawn purely because this is one I played with my wife, who traditionally doesn't really play games at all, and we both had an amazing time. The draw with games like these is that two people can enjoy them while only one of you has to do the actual playing. Which is perfect if you've got people at home who aren't at all familiar with a DualShock and who just want to enjoy the story. Alternatively, you can pass the pad. However you want to play, the main thing with games like Until Dawn is making those crucial life or death decisions, especially when you've got more than one person doing the deciding. It's like democracy with a time limit, which, it turns out, is incredibly exciting. Also, it allows you to unburden yourself of all responsibility when things inevitably go wrong. Well, you could say, if you hadn't decided to go back and save everyone else, then Sam might still be alive. And they'd say, shut up! If you hadn't been rubbish at the game and not moved when you weren't supposed to, the Wendigo wouldn't have caught her. And then you'd be like, I didn't move. Honest, I swear I didn't move.
I didn't move, man.
Even if you've played these games before on your own, I would heartily recommend playing them again with someone else. Like, seeing their reaction to all the various story beats is honestly amazing. You know, it's like how you feel when you give someone a birthday present you know they'll really appreciate. Oh, jump scares and gory deaths. Oh, thank you, darling. Just what I wanted. Entry 4 is simply any Lego game. Seriously, any of them. My personal favourites are Lego Marvel Superheroes and Lego The Lord of the Rings, and they're just so moorishly playable, so funny, and made with so much love for their respective source material that it's not unusual for Lego games to be among the best games in any particular franchise. For instance, Lego Star Wars The Force Awakens, genuinely one of the best Star Wars games this generation. Lego The Lord of the Rings, my personal favourite, is the most fun I've had inside a virtual Middle-earth probably ever. And the other good thing about the Lego games is how accessible they are for all ages. So the kids can enjoy them, just running around smashing stuff, building things and gobbling up collectibles. And you can enjoy them because they're just brilliant games. If you can get your hands on Lego Dimensions, I'd also heartily recommend that as well. It's a unique and fantastic game where you get to build real-life Lego toys and then, through the magic of technology, see your creations materialise in-game. Also, the mashup of licenses is just a dream. The Lord of the Rings, Doctor Who, Batman, Harry Potter, Ghostbusters, the Lego Movie, and more, all in one game. Ridiculous and amazing. Entry 5 is Unravel, a charming puzzle platformer about a sentient clump of wool called Yarny, who, as the title suggests, starts to unravel as he moves forward through the game. On the surface, this is a beautiful game with cleverly crafted physics-based puzzles and, may I just say, some of the best water graphics you'll see on PS4, but there's a warmth and depth to the story of Unravel that will draw you in and leave you emotionally bruised. The story here is you are exploring the memories of an old lady. They start happy and gradually become darker as you effectively journey through significant locations from the family's life, sharing in their happiness and also their grief. Unravel's director, Martin Sarlin, has stated that the red yarn represents love, and that the further away you travel from things you love, the more you start to lose yourself. I also like to think of the yarn as representing life's journey. It's like a physical reminder of where you've been, stretched out behind you, threading together every significant event that's made you who you are. Also, look at these apples and this water. Beautiful. This is one of those games you can very easily play while snuggled up with your partner on the sofa. And if you fancy playing co-op together, Unravel 2 is the brilliant sequel that allows you to do just that. Puzzles, platforming and heart-warming adventure for two. Which leads us very neatly onto our penultimate entry, Portal 2. This game, as I've said many times, is quite frankly perfect. The writing is genius, the performance from Stephen Merchant as bumbling AI companion Wheatley will have you and anyone watching in absolute stitches.
Do not plug that little idiot into my mainframe.
No, you should plug that little idiot into the mainframe.
The puzzles are just, chef's kiss. Puzzles just baked to perfection. They're the type of puzzles that are so cleverly designed they make you feel like a Mensa-level genius for having worked them out, when really you're not. Well, you might be. They've just been expertly designed. Working them out with someone else is great fun though, as is just enjoying the wonderful story and iconic characters. We've mentioned Wheatley, but GLaDOS too is one of the most recognisable antagonists in video game history. And then later on you get to the bit with Cave Johnson, an aperture scientist who you never physically meet, it'll just feel like you have thanks to all the hilarious voice recordings he's left behind.
Alright, I've been thinking. When life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Make life take the lemons back. Get mad! I don't want your damn lemons! What am I supposed to do with these?
Take the lemons.
So, Portal 2 is amazing to play. It's great fun watching someone else play as well. But crucially, there is co-op too. And this is where you'll really hook those non-gamers in your family. Puzzle solving, teamwork, cooperative physics-based play, they are going to love it. And if you can't make your brains work in sync, at least you'll be rolling around the floor in fits of laughter. What an utterly joyous game this is. Our final entry is the 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle of video games. The Witness is a project something you embark upon and work away at potentially for months until you finally crack everything. I think it's my favourite puzzle game of all time. So perfectly designed, such amazing pacing, all set on a beautiful lush open world island you can explore at your leisure. The Witness is also an incredibly calming game. You're never under any real strict time pressure to solve anything. And so, if you want, you can just stand and stare at the horizon for an hour, take a deep breath, and then plunge back into the puzzle solving, mind refreshed. Because this is very much the type of game where you can be stuck on something for hours, days, thinking it's impossible, and then you go away for a bit and solve it as soon as you return. The puzzles in The Witness are the type that just seem gloriously simple once you have worked them out. Often, all you'll need to solve them is a shift in perspective, to think outside the box. And sometimes what you'll need is an actual other person, literally holding their finger on the screen, helping you get through that bit where you have to solve the invisible line puzzle. Honestly though, The Witness is a game you can work on together. The satisfaction of hitting those eureka moments is amplified when it's shared. And as I say, it's a game that could potentially keep you going for weeks. So there you are, 7 games people who don't even play games will really love. Let us know if you have any more suggestions in the comments. Give this video a like if you found it useful. Click the notification bell to stay up to date with everything on the channel, and join us again next week for another Friday feature. Thanks for watching.
For the players.